the lab, focus on the ego. Open my heart, let go of the ego. Ran out the grind, I'm stacking up these C-notes. Facts, facts. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back. Facts. Found out the axe, put it in the rap. Facts, facts. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back. Facts, facts. We in your city, pull up where we at. Facts.
And that's facts though, I talk factos. Ask J Babe, I go Astro. Floating focused on my cash flow. We plant star seeds to make the grass grow. I'm a refloater, I do what I wanna. Stacking the winter, sunbathing the summer. My chakras aligning, I shock 'em like Blanco. Only pope we acknowledge a nigga is Paulo.
At these events, I'm to my pool. Got out the streets, yeah, we dodging a Rico. Game roulette, I'm a casino, the game wasn't fair, yeah, the odds wasn't equal. Squad got the Chico, my squad got the Chico. Came in a drought, yeah, they starving the people. Blaming and doubt, make it hard to eat, yo. Not a placebo, this not a placebo.
The food, the art, the clothes. We put this on the road. The Vatican getting exposed. You better stay on your toes. Rebo, till in the lab, focus on the ego. Open my heart, let go of the ego. Ran out the grind, I'm stacking up these C-notes. Facts, facts. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back. Facts, facts. Found out the axe, put it in the rap. Facts, facts. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back. Facts, facts. We in your city, pull up where we at. Facts, facts.
Started in Richmond, art of my district. Heart of the mystics, started for biscuits. Father the isfits, martyr the misfits. God is my witness, God on my hit list. Moving the weight, we started with fitness. Moving with states, we art of the richest. Give me the blues, my heart is in Memphis. It's part of adventure, started my venture. The F is for food, the A is for art. The C is for clothes, I'm playing my part. T is for check, I'm playing it smart. S is for shelter, I stay in the park. Acres on acres, get lost in the dark. We playing a part, we playing it smart. Facts, facts, okay.
The food, the art, the clothes. We put this on the road. The Vatican getting exposed. You better stay on your toes. Rebo, till in the lab, focus on the ego. Open my heart, let go of the ego. Ran out the grind, I'm stacking up these.
Peace to the family, peace to you and yours, peace to the family, peace to you and yours. Welcome to another episode of Third Eye Thursdays. Yes, indeed, yes, indeed, yes, indeed. All right. Greetings to everybody in the building. Peace to the family, peace to the family. Good evening, good evening, good evening. How's everybody doing? Salute to everybody. Peace. What's happening? How's the audio? How's the audio? Let me know how's the audio. You did. Peace to y'all. Greetings. Good evening. It's good. Okay. Yeah, we might have to woosah our way through this episode, man. This technical shit has been giving me a headache. But it's all good, man. It's all good. I'm just happy to be here on this Thursday and whatnot. So, it is what it is. Let's go and do the roll call. Let's see who's in the building. Yeah, I did catch some of that Straight Facts episode. That was fire. Shout out to DC in the building, CT in the building. You dig? Yes, sir. Let's see. We got Louisiana in the building. We got the 718 in the building. All right. Shout out to San Francisco. Shout out to Bermuda. Shout out to Gwinnett. All right. Shout out to Illinois, Tulsa, Seattle, PG. All right. Happy solo return. You did. St. Louis, Beantown, Hampton. What's popping? The BX, NC, Virgin Islands, PG, Maryland, 213, Rome, Georgia, the 757, Chicago, Norfolk, Spartansburg, Detroit, Nevada, Philly. Yo, how's everybody doing? Delaware, Newark. Delaware, Newark. Salute to y'all. Give me 1 second. Trying to do two things at once. Spofford? You mean like the jail, Spofford? Stop playing. Oh, man. Philly in the building. Rockville, Maryland in the building. All right. Shout out to everybody, man. Peace, love, and light. Greetings. Yes, indeed. So, I'm going to get right to the conversation. There's a few things going on in the snooze and whatnot. Okay, all right. Says yes to jail, my guy. You work there, or you currently locked in? You on the motherfucking tier right now. You know what I'm saying? You locked in, or you on the tier? All right. Chicago in the building. Shout out to Chicago. 305 in the building. Shout out to 305. All right, Australia, we got the mothership. That's what I'm talking about. Big Australia in the building. I see you. Big Australia. You dig? All right. Yeah, man. So we here. We in the building. The family's here. Like I said, good evening. Good evening. On the tier doing time. Well, let me know if you need any books while you're in there and whatnot. We'll see what we could do for you and get you some reading materials while you're doing your time in Spofford. You dig? Cayman Islands, all right? Macon, Georgia. Okay. You on a settlement in the Indian settlement? Okay, that's what's up. All right, Muskowee, Muskowaki, Muskowaki, Muskowaki. Am I pronouncing it right? I don't want to butcher the name and whatnot, but salute to you. Okay, Grand Rapids, salute to you. Brooklyn, you already know what it is. Dallas, Texas, hold it down. You know what I mean? Salute to Dallas, Fort Worth. Salute to Houston. All of y'all. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, they don't really talk about Spofford. They talk about Rikers Island a lot. I don't hear too much Spofford. Shout out to T Dot, mind them over in T Dot and whatnot. I don't hear too much Spofford rhetoric. So that when I saw that, it was like, wait, Spofford, the juvenile home, the juvenile jail. When I was growing up, even that was all they talked about before Rikers Island. Everybody was talking about doing time in Spofford and how rough it was and shit like that. But you know, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Y'all don't need me to start getting into the jail nostalgia. There's like 100 podcasts that are out there and YouTube channels where it's real niggas is doing coming back from 30 years. What giving you all of the yard talk that you need. You don't need nothing from me. You know what I mean? Because I never spend enough time in no white man's jail to give you the full details about jail life and what the fuck it is behind the wall and all of that. We'll let the professionals take that. You dig? We'll let the professionals handle that. But there's some things going on in the news, and one of the things that I want to start off the conversation tonight about is mental health. Mental health, right? There was a story that popped up on my timeline yesterday, and it was about a DJ who goes by the name of Twitch, right? Now, mind you, I'm not really familiar with characters off of TV. I don't watch the dance contests and shit like that. I damn sure don't watch Ellen DeGenerate, you know what I mean? And I'm not always familiar with, you know, the names of certain people that that are household names. I don't know. I don't know about certain things. You know, I know some things, but there's certain things I don't keep up with. Ellen DeGeneres is one of them. But what I do know is I know Ellen DeGenerate. And what I do know is that her name has a red flag attached to it. Like there's certain names in Hollywood that whenever somebody in the news is attached to them or their name pops up, it raises a red flag. It sets off some of my spider senses. So my spider sense went off immediately when I saw the story. Now, this is how it first caught me. I'm on Twitter, minding my business, you know, kind of like addicted to the news cycle. I don't know why. I've been trying to shake the habit. But, you know, the first thing I do, I go right to my Twitter and I'm searching for the news of the day. You know what I mean? I'm in detective mode. I'm trying to figure out what's going on around the world. So I spend about 3 hours sometimes deep diving in the motherfucking dumpster. This is mainstream media, right? So I come across this story. Then I see his name spelled with a small t, right? His name is Twitch, DJ Twitch, right? Small t, capital W, small I T C H, right? So for the, you know, when you're reading it, you're like Twitch, but it's really T Witch, right? DJ T Witch. So automatically I'm like, yeah, because I read Ellen DeGeneres, right? Her post, she did a RIP post, and she wrote the man's name out like small T, big W, like so DJ Witch, you know, right? Come to find out, this man had happy feet. He was a dancer, right? And he's the guy who be dancing with her. You know, she does her little routine, right, to make it look like she's like, you know, relatable and whatnot. They normalize her with the shucking and jiving and shit, right? So, you know, he actually come to find out this young man who is 40 years young with 3 children, married to a white woman. He was the executive producer. He wasn't just Happy Feet, and he wasn't just the DJ. You understand? He was behind the scenes as the executive producer on the last season of Ellen DeGeneres show, which got terminated, right? Remember, for anybody that was keeping up with the quote unquote conversations that were taking place when Donald Trump was president during the year of 2020, right around the time of George Floyd, right? Yeah, he's definitely her cut card. He's her street culture black card. You understand? That's exactly who that young man was. He was her street card, right? He was the one, you know, teaching her the new dance moves. And, you know, they was doing a little bit of shucking on the show. You know what I mean? I'm gonna just keep it 1,000. He was doing a little bit of, you know, the feet was a little too happy. You know what I mean? For my take, for my appetite, right? A little too happy when he's dancing. You know, a little that the feet was a little too happy. It's given the shit that we saw back in the days in early Hollywood, right? How our people would be dancing and shit like that, right? It was definitely soft shoeing, right? Beef Murphy, thank you for that soft shoeing, because I don't want to disrespect the ancestors, right? So once again, I just was like, so then I said, all right, cool, you know, I'm one who's up for correcting oneself, right? I'm the kind of person who's willing to say I have a hunch about something, but if I read the report, you know, I'm willing to sit my ass down and not say anything. So, you know, Mr. Perry Mason himself, right? I started doing a little bit of research, and I went right to the police report. Come to find out, the official story and the way this thing is transpiring, it even caused my fucking Kojak. You know what I mean? It set off my Magnum PI spider senses, and I was like, hold on. So this is the official story. So his white wife, right? Mother, 9 years, they had an anniversary that they celebrated. See, thanks to TikTok, you be knowing all of these things, right? That people let you into their personal shit. So I wouldn't have known this. They put the TikTok out, and come to find out, she has happy feet. She's dancing with him too, right? So they're just a happy dancing symbol of, you know, racism not existing in America anymore, because look, the races are getting together, they're procreating, and they're actually dancing together. And then, you know, you have a man who's an executive producer on a very popular daytime talk show, right? With a woman who represents the LGBT community. She's almost like the poster child for white lesbians. Let's be clear, right? She broke the quote unquote wasn't she the one who broke the barrier on television and whatnot, and she was accepted. Look at my son's sock. It's crazy. She was the one that was accepted by America, by mainstream America, when that whole shit was kind of taboo, right? You know what I mean? When Bible toting America, when Roman Catholic America was tuned in, they wasn't prepared to embrace a personality who was considered to be, wayward and whatnot, or living the quote unquote alternative lifestyle. She was the one who broke through. Yeah, Rosie O'Donnell walked so she could run. She came out of the quote unquote the closet, the cupboard and whatnot, and then she became like the poster child, right? Ellen and Ann, right? So Ann happened to be the woman who she came out of the closet with, her quote unquote wife, her girlfriend at first, and then I believe they may have even gotten married. Now, for anybody that follows Ellen, once again, this is an observation. I'm not judging, I'm smudging. And if you can assist me with this quote unquote unpacking, please do. Because like I said earlier, I'm not really tapped into Ellen like that. Okay? I'm really not tapped in to Ellen like that. But what I do know about Ellen is that in 2020, when they were exposing the people on the Epstein flight log, right? And when there was a lot of conversations going on about celebrities like the Tom Hanks of the world, there was this whole deep state thing that was almost similar to what we were witnessing with Balenciaga Gate. Only this was about 50 to 100 times bigger. This was around the time of the pizza situation. This was around the time of the laptop and Anthony Weiner and whatnot. This was the Podesta emails, and it led into the Epstein flight log. She was mentioned in a few of those situations. Then it was mentioned that the front that she puts on at her show, where it's a loving environment, was completely false, because there was a lot of lawsuits that were coming out from ex-employees that were complaining about a very hostile environment underneath her leadership, right? Then, come to find out, her ex-wife, Miss Ann, what's her last name? Is it Hetch? She came out with this woman who she married, blonde-haired woman and whatnot. They were like the face of, white women who were, in love with each other, right? This woman, Anne Hatch, right, dies in a car crash, right? Or gets into a car crash this year, right? Was it this year? A few months ago. There's a helicopter overhead, similar to like in LA, they give you the bird's eye view from what they call the ghetto bird, the helicopter. In this footage that went viral, right? Miss Ann Hetch wakes up. She doesn't hop off the gurney, my niggas. She doesn't hop off the gurney. She don't hop out the ambulance. She hops off the motherfucker. She hops out of a body bag. Okay? She hops out of a body bag. All right? See, there you, all right, here we go. We're getting more. All right, she married Portia de Rossi, Australia. Like I said, she was with Ann, ladies and gentlemen. She was with motherfucking Ann. Ann was on her shoulder. She was on her hand. Ann was on her arm for a minute. Ann was her charm on her arm. From what I know, I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? I wasn't watching the Ann and Ellen sex tape. I don't know what's going on. All I know that was her ex-bae. So her ex-bae hopped out of a fucking body bag. It's been a long time since I seen some shit like that. Yes, she was a lady who died in that crash. Now, there was conversations being had about the car being taken over, right? Similar to what they said happened with my good brother from Fast and the Furious. What is his name? Paul something? What was the brother's name who died in the car crash? And they said that his car basically was speeding down Hollywood Boulevard or something, and it wrapped around a tree, right? Rise and power to him, right? And then they were talking about Paul Walker, and there was conversations about Paul Walker knowing too much about what was going on in Hollywood, right? So here you have it, this Ann lady, right? And they were together real bad. Oh, really? Okay. So her ex-bae, who she was together with, conspicuously dies, right? And this is after the show is canceled, right? I could be off, I could be on it, but it was around the same time. Like I said, in the 2020 lockdown, the show was at its heights and popularity. The shit basically took a humongous pause and whatnot. We didn't see Ellen DeGeneres. She basically disappeared for a minute, right? Then when she pops back up, they like, yo, we wrapping up the show and whatnot. Rumor has it that she was on house arrest, and you know, it was all kind of shit going on. You feel me? And then people start dying around her. Now, there was a sister who had cancer from America Got Talent, and she was also on the Ellen show. She had died of cancer. Then the situation happened with Ann, right? Jumping out of a fucking body bag, bro. Like, if that shit don't raise a motherfucking alarm, jumping out of a body bag, bro. Like, you don't make those kind of mistakes when you declaring somebody to be dead and you zip them up. I'm talking about she has to be terminally dead, like no pulse, putting a motherfucker in a body bag. Like, who the fuck does that? And then later she dies. So she literally got up like, and then they pushed her back down and zipped it up and got up because the camera in the helicopter was able to capture that footage live. And I don't think that it was for the public to see. Yeah, she was fighting like a MF. If anybody knows somebody fighting for their life, then you know what you was looking at. It wasn't an ordinary accident where they made a mistake and declared her to be dead and whatnot, and then she just woke up out of a fucking coma, or she woke up out of a bad dream that she started having when her car crashed. No, my niggas. It looked like she might have got hit with some motherfucking elephant juice, or it might have looked like they tried to subdue her or put her under and whatnot, and she had certainly snapped up out of that. You know? Because once they put you and zip you up, they could do anything with the body after that. You just declare dead in front of whoever was looking, and then, you know, you gotta see the video. Yeah, niggas is like, I gotta see that. I gotta see that. So then, fast forward to the story. Now, this is the story about our good brother, DJ Twitch. I'm twitching as I'm talking about it because it just doesn't sit right with me. Spirit is like, listen, bro, this man knew something. You understand? This man obviously might have known something. I know that people silently suffer. There's really not that many ways that you could tell when a person is going through something, right? Both man and woman, you know, people are suffering in silence sometimes. People are suffering in silence. But I didn't see the suffering in that man to the degree that he was like, yo, I'm going to remove myself. I'm going to delete myself. I'm going to shoot myself in the head, right? Here's the official story. So it goes down like this, right? He leaves his house on a Tuesday night, right? He leaves his house on a Tuesday night. His wife, and he checks himself into a hotel, right? He checks himself into a hotel 11 minutes from his house. A very seedy looking hotel. I saw the hotel. It's a very seedy looking, it's like a motel. It's not even like Holiday Inn or something. It's one of those walk up motels. So he walks to a hotel the night before. The next morning or the next rising, his wife is running into a police precinct, right? They said he lost his money at FTX. Interesting. Interesting. I'm gonna have to look into that a little bit. The fam was hanging out with that guy last weekend and he was in great spirits. You understand? You feel me? Sam Cooke got killed in a seedy hotel. Somebody go on Google. The anniversary for Sam Cooke just came up the other day. Could somebody go and Google what was the day that Sam Cooke got killed in a hotel in LA by the hotel manager some decades ago? Could somebody please go and Google that? Where is my quote unquote where's my mods at? Right? So they was trying for another baby. He was talking a lot of BLM talk. I did see some of the videos where he was giving up some of the BLM shit, right? I did see videos like that, right? So on December 11th, right, 1964, right? They said it was a mob hit, right? The mob hit him. Keep in mind, though, there's two mafias in Hollywood, right? There's the Jewish mafia and there's the Italian mafia. Keep that in mind, okay? There's two mafias. So on 12/11, right? And this happened what day? Right? Yeah, the Jewish mafia is called this right here. Okay, let's be clear. So here's the story. Let me go back to the official story that the wife is giving. Right? LAPD already closed the case. It's a done data. You know what I'm talking about? They closed that bitch up mad quick and got up out of there. Right? Because we already know of the many suicides that happened in Los Angeles, in that area. We know that it has to be, they cover a lot of suicides and homicides, and they're able to cover up for a lot of different people by just declaring everything a suicide, right? It's always the person who knows too much. Anthony Bourdain, right? The dude from the rock and roll band, was it Soundgarden, who got found in his closet or some shit, right? And he was about to come forward and have a conversation with the world. But anyway, the wife says the next day, right? So if you live with your wife and you live with the 3 kids in a new house, right? In a new house, right? Yeah, Aaron Carter gets knocked off recently, and he was talking about some shit was about to go down, and he was trying to get out of America and go hide and whatnot. So he goes to a hotel. The wife doesn't make any noise about that, right? She comes home the next morning. I don't know if she had an overnight job. I don't know what's going on. But she said that the car, she was frantic. She ran to the precinct and she was frantic. And she said, I'm reporting him missing because he doesn't leave home without his car. Right? So she made a report. She was worried about him because he doesn't leave without his car. Now, two things. One, I would request to see the video of him walking into the hotel, right? So the staff at the hotel was saying that he appeared to be in good moods, you know what I mean? Not to say that the person is coming to commit suicide is walking in there and they're like, yo, I feel like committing suicide. I need a room all the way in the back. You know what I mean? Like nobody's just gonna walk in there and publicly, you know what I mean? Like people wear masks, right? They know how to hide shit. You understand? Like people can hide their emotions for as long as they need to, you know what I mean? To not raise an alarm. That's true. However, I would have to look at all of the video to see if anybody came in this man's room, if there's a way for someone to sneak in through the windows, you know, any of the things that shit happens. It's right. Gary Webb committed suicide by shooting himself twice in the head, right? Exactly. You know, right. Did he put it? Did he get dropped off by an Uber? Did he walk there? You understand? Like, I got questions. So when you go and Google the story, it basically says the wife reported him missing. A few hours later, LAPD or whatever the police department gets a phone call of an incident at a hotel. They were going to check. The man was supposed to check out for checkout time. He didn't check out, so they went in the room, and he was in the bathroom with a gunshot wound to the head, allegedly. Right? They ruled it a suicide, and they closed the case already. Okay? That's the case. They basically, Twitch went to the hotel on the 12th, right? Okay, so he went so that he gets found on a Tuesday. Okay. Interesting. And they said that they didn't hear the shot go off. That's what they're saying, that they didn't hear a shot go off. Right? So I need to get my internet sleuths on this case. Where's Academics and where's DJ Academics and we need some of the internet sleuths because the math ain't mathing. Like math ain't mathing. And it was definitely very close to December 11th. It's just weird, bro. It's just weird, you know? He had a very bright spirit. I mean, you know, as a father of children, 3 to be exact, you know what I mean? Like, I hate seeing shit like that. You know? I hate seeing shit like that. So then I went and started looking out at the wife, you know? And it was just giving handler vibes, man. I don't know who this lady is, and no disrespect to her at all. No disrespect to her at all. But it's like, it's always, and I don't mean to say this in a facetious way, man, but it's always the white wives, bro. You know what I'm talking about? It's always them to be like, yeah, you know, he was a nice guy. You know what I mean? Like, they'll never give you the dirt and whatnot. They'll never say, yeah, he was going through some shit and shit was fucked up. And the bills was, they always give this polished ass this mayonnaise. They give you a mayonnaise sandwich. You know what I mean? It's always this. Yeah, you know, he was a great dude. Like, you know what I mean? They sound like coaches and whatnot talking about a football player. You know, they're all handlers in LA. Like all of these women be looking they all giving handler. They all give handler vibes, like real get out type shit. You know what I mean? Kim Kardashian being the head of that clan type shit. You know what I'm talking about? Like, it's just weird, bro. It's weird, and it's always the brother with the white wife that's dying. You know, what happened? Remember my dude from John Coffey from the Green Mile, right? Then he died. Was he with Omarosa? Who was Omarosa with? It's just a lot of I could come up with a list of the names. I don't have it in front of me. It's like, damn, is this a coinky dink? Like, how is it that the brothers with the white whizzes and whatnot, they either be committing suicide or they be dying in their sleep type shit? Like, they always running into some type of ill fate type. Like, you know what I'm talking about? They be all insurance stuff, you know, got the whole life policy on the nigga. You know what I mean? Then they just get knocked off. And who's to say if he was living another life or not? I just know that the story that they gave out, it don't sit right with me. You know what I mean? It's just not giving case closed. It's not giving case closed to me. It's not giving, let's just keep it moving type shit. So before I even continue, I just want to say, anybody going through a crisis right now, you know, I just want to say, hold on. You understand? Hold on, brother and sister. You understand? This is that type of time. We are in a recession. This year has been unkind to kind people. It's a lot of things going on. People are struggling with their mental health and shit like that, and we not getting a lot of sunlight. You know what I mean? So that's even it's even more of a detriment. So I need people to really hang on, and if you're going through some shit, please reach out. Not on the internet. Don't ever put a post up and be like, I need help. Don't do that. You know, don't make that your first choice. I just say that because the way that these people are on social media, you got trolls out there, you got haters out there, and you have some very undeveloped motherfuckers that will take that and run with it and try to push you off the edge. You might want to reach out to a close friend or somebody that you trust, because motherfuckers don't care about you on the internet, bro. Yeah, the Chadwick shit don't sit right with me at all. You got to keep in mind, because people be bringing up cancer and other things, like Virgil died of cancer, Chadwick died of cancer. There's a lot of cancer situations, but cancer is poison. You could be poisoned and they'll be like, that shit is cancer. You know what I mean? And people really, like, they don't know to what extent spirit cooking entails. You know, they don't know to what extent these sorcerers do their sorcery. You know, I don't think people understand how deep that shit goes, bro. Yeah, they have cancer guns. Like, the sorcery get to sorcering. And I feel that there's enough witchcraft out there where people could conjure up sicknesses and diseases in people type shit. Like, you know, sometimes your handler could poison your food or your drink. You know, I don't trust a lot of people these days. You know, don't trust them. You know what I'm talking about? So I'm looking at that shit with one eye open, like, nah, That ain't right. You know what I mean? Something ain't right about that. Something ain't right about that. So I'm gonna just put it out there. We definitely spent some considerable time. If my computer wasn't so goddamn slow, I would share the screen and give you a picture about what it is that I'm talking about. But we maybe before the year is out, we're gonna have to do a collection to go ahead and get this new iMac, because this shit that I got right here, it's not working. It's not doing it. Like the fucking ball be spinning. I'm getting older sitting in front of this goddamn computer. But anyway, while we're talking about shit that just don't sit right, while we're on the topic, let's have a conversation about your boy Gunna. You know what I'm talking about? Now that we on to topics about shit that just don't sit right, let's just have a conversation about your good boy Gunna and whatnot and what happened with him. But yeah, before we do that and we leave this case, I would just I'm reopening the case. I'm saying we're not going to leave the case closed. We're gonna reopen it. We're gonna sniff around a little bit, up until the point where we're gonna give it a 30-day probationary period. Okay. Now, in brighter news, the day after this man, or a few days after, today I see an article where Ellen DeGeneres closed on like a $70 million estate or some shit. You know what I'm talking about? Like, she got a humongous house, overlooking the water and all of that. I'm like, God damn it, they out here. Is that a fucking reward or something for the sacrifices? You know what I mean? You don't know what be going on behind the scenes with these people. But my investigators investigate. You understand? I'm gonna have my investigators investigate. We're gonna find out what's going on. We're gonna find out, bro. We'll see. You know what I mean? If it's something fishy, it'll get exposed. That's a fact. So somebody said, who is Gunna? Oh, thank you for asking that. Yeah. So Gunna is a rapper out of Atlanta. And he was let go out of prison. He was currently incarcerated in the Atlanta criminal justice system for approximately 6 to 7 months, right? With his other co-defendants, exactly 27 of them in totality, right? And he had something called a RICO charge on his jacket, right? And the state and RICO charges differ. Yes, state and RICO charges do differ. The federal RICO charges are known to be the harder charges to beat, or the more, those are the more serious charges, right? And in Georgia, we have something called a GBI, the Georgia Bureau of Investigations, and what they've done is that they've adopted the federal RICO charge, and they've created state RICO charges. So we have federal and we got state RICOs. So in Georgia, you have state RICOs. So they hit YSL with a state RICO. And yesterday, the young man had a court appearance, and he was able to plead guilty, right, to some very, very lesser charges. Okay. And he basically got time served, and they let this young man walk out of the jail, right? A free man, right? and he basically has to do 500 hours of community service, and he may have to testify, right? Yet it doesn't say that in the paperwork. I'm kind of like, I'm being an internet lawyer right now. He made a statement that identified YSL as a gang, right? So one of the foundations of the RICO case is to identify YSL. Young Stoner Life is what it started out as, right? They were signed by Liar Cohen. Let's be clear. They were brought in the game by Liar Cohen from Rockefeller, from Def Jam, who started out 300, right? That was his record label. They also had Meg Thee Stallion. Let's be clear, okay? So two people that are in the news right now, very prominently going on at the same time, Meg Thee Stallion, 300, and YSL under Young Thug is also 300. That is, and he's now the head of YouTube, the same YouTube that we are all on right now. If you're not on Facebook, the same YouTube that I'm broadcasting from, the head of YouTube, global YouTube, is Liar Cohen, the same dude who broke up Rockefeller, in charge of Def Jam, running shit in hip hop ever since he pulled up with Run DMC. So, do I think that the young man told, or what I call what he did ratting? Of course he ratted. But he ratted to a degree, yes. And Liar Cohen is also involved with the Migos. Thank you. Right. So once again, like I said, a lot of these people, in my opinion, have to do with a lot of witchcraft, shamanism. You know, these are warlocks in my book. You know what I mean? The shit that they be doing behind the scenes, they do a lot of conjuring, spirit cooking. He's also, Liar Cohen's is also, his fingerprints is on Kanye, because like I said, he's the hand behind Rockefeller and whatnot. He's the hand behind Rockefeller, and him and Kanye were very intimately, connected and shit like that. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, the Kabbalah, they out there doing a lot of that work. And for those who don't understand how that shit is done, then you'll never understand the extent to how they manipulate these people who they own via contract. These are their subjects, right? So the way that they signed, the way that they lined up the way that they lined up his plea bargain, right? Because I've taken a plea deal before when I had a case when I was a teenager. So the way that these plea bargains work, you have to admit your guilt. If you're gonna plea out on a case, you have to admit your guilt, right? You have to admit your guilt. So they had this young man admit his guilt, right? In order for him to go home, he had to admit his guilt. But by admitting his guilt, of course, is going to trip up and trap up all of his other co-defendants, right? Because he had to admit that he was knowledgeable about gang activity, right? He was, yeah. I took a plea in my case, and I only admitted myself as well, so I already know. You know, we need a MacBook fund, ready to go. Yeah, we damn sure do need a MacBook fund. I'm gonna match it. I'm gonna match it. I'm gonna have $1,000. Probably on Monday, I'll just count it out. I'll count the $1,000 out, and then I'll just have the audience match it. You know, we'll probably have 500 people in the building. Yeah, I just give $2 up. You know what I mean? And we'll go ahead and we'll get the M1, the little, because I want the fast one, so I could do some editing. I could get back on my video editing and shit like that. start chopping up these videos. And you know, we need faster devices, you know what I'm talking about, so we could do more things and whatnot, because this is a one-man show. But yeah, we'll do that on Monday. We'll definitely do that on Monday. So going back to the situation with Gunna, the way that they set you up with the plea bargain is that you have to admit your guilt. So once you admit your guilt, it's kind of like a catch-22 and whatnot. It's kind of like a catch-22. You know, you can use my Apple discount. Okay, shit. I had went to get the Apple card, because you know that you could get an Apple. They got Apple credit cards. You could walk right out the store with about $5,000 worth of Apple products. You feel me? You know, you could walk out of there with some Apple products. But you know, them niggas denied me. I was kind of tight. I was in the Apple store like, wait, run my shit again, bro. Like, it was like, no, like, we're not giving you this credit line. But so they said that they're a gang and not a legitimate corporation. I mean, you know, I don't want to be the party pooper. You know, I don't want to be the party pooper, but I don't want to live in a reality on the internet where I'm playing dumb. I don't want to play dumb on the internet. You know, I don't want to play dumb on the internet. So playing dumb on the internet is playing with everybody and be like, yeah, they got to prove that they wasn't a gang. Nigga, they was a gang. Like, I don't want to play dumb on the internet. Everybody knows that they're a gang. The only people that y'all think don't know is these white people, and they know too. Let's just you know what I mean? Like, am I telling on them? And should I have not said that? You know what I mean? Like, because I don't want to play. I don't want to play folly. You know. I don't want to play silly. I don't want to play dumb. I just don't want to play it. I want to play truthful, and I just want to act my age. So I didn't get this far playing dumb. You know what I mean? We know that they, you know what I mean? Like, come on, let's not do that, y'all. They told the world that they was a gang, bro. This nigga told the world. I mean, everybody knows that. Like, everybody knows what the nose swipe is. Yeah, come on, guys. You know, they did a horrible job of keeping that shit a secret, guys. You dig? So it's like, we gonna play games with people's lives. You know, the nigga had to say that it was a gang in order to get home. And I told y'all from the gate, from the early days, he's gonna be the one that's gonna feel the most pressure. He's gonna be the one, because he's a rapper. He if they showed me a lineup with all of them, I'd have been like, yeah, he's gonna be the one that's gonna break. You know, he's just not built for what it takes for hardened criminals to be hard to you know to do what they do. You got to be able to sit down, right? If you got to sit down for 4 years, you know what I'm talking about. You have to have the wherewithal to sit down and be quiet and have faith in the pimp God Sherrod in a higher force. You know what I mean? That's how that street shit work. If you get caught with the blicky and whatnot, because what they say, I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. You got to do that. If you get caught with the switch, my nigga, you got to sit down for that 5 to 15, or you got to be prepared to just sit down because your ass could have been sitting in a box, a real box, not 23 and 1, nigga, 23 and none. You did 23 and none. So if that shit comes with some time behind it, you just got to do your time. And everybody's not built for that because I'm sure that this man, he wanted to eat the steak. Like homie Cypher and the Matrix, they know who the Cypher is. You know what I'm talking about? They're observing you while you locked up. They listening to your phone calls. You know, they're paying attention to if you shaky or not. They're gonna put you in general population, or they're gonna put you in some shit where you could get, you know, some pressure put on you, and then the DA starts saying you want to cooperate. So I'm not gonna say that he's a full Tekashi 6ix9ine, but you know, I mean, the streets at the end of the day, before anything else, you know, the streets is the ones that's gonna take the L. The streets lost on that end. Not gonna, the streets lost because the shit that they got these little niggas living by, it's a lose-lose any way that you look at it. It's a lose-lose. You understand? Not in 2022. Not when you got talent and whatnot. It's a lose-lose. Like, I don't see it any other way. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna blow smoke up nobody. And I'm not with the bandwagon shit. And you know, I don't need to look cool to nobody in the gang. You know, it's a lose-lose at the end of the day, fam. You know, it's a lose-lose, fam. That ain't it. You know, and this is not the days of. I'm on Netflix watching some shit about the mob and whatnot, you know, and it's talking about how Giuliani went ham hocks on these niggas, you know, and basically, you know, they put the RICO on all of the bosses. This is when the mafia ran New York. Who's seen that? It's a documentary about how they took down all of the bosses, right? Yeah, the co-owner. Yeah, so I mean, this is Atlanta. Miracles happen in Atlanta. So I'm not gonna say that Young Thug is cooked and whatnot, because miracles happen. Miracles happen. Yes, the new cheat code to the street code. Yes, niggas is looking for loopholes. They looking for leaks. They looking for backdoors. They looking for anything that they could get in order to tweak the rules and whatnot, because they're using Madden cheat codes to get through this game. It's a different game from the mafia days. It's a different game from the quote unquote, you know, from the shit that we might have known back in the days. This is not the same game. The crime is not organized. You understand? The crimes is not organized. This is unorganized crime. This is crime that's being done on the internet. This is crime that's being done in the public. This is crime that's being done on social media. This is Gotti 2.0, my nigga. This is crime that niggas is making rhymes out of, and the rhymes have created income streams. You know, because yeah, they talk about the Gunner situation, but nobody's talking about they freed the head, the co-founder, a brother who they had scooped up. He was one of the last people to get arrested for the indictment. He had turned, allegedly, they said that he came home, turned his life around, and he was flying straight and whatnot. And you know, he had people behind him, like, you know, because Atlanta it's a lot of politics in Atlanta. You get close to the boule and whatnot, or you get close to the politicians, or you get close to, like, you know, you start doing community programs and shit like that. You get close to the churches, you get powerful black people behind you, right? That's how this town works. You feel me? This town runs off of a lot of things, but you get the right people to back you, then you could slide through some motherfucking cracks. Henceforth, how people like T.I. got out of his situations and whatnot. You know, there's been accusations of him telling, but even to get to the point of him being able to get that type of deal that he got, there's certain phone calls that have to be made by black politicians who have major pull that can make major things happen for you, right? I'm of the understanding that individuals such as Gunna, you know, and some other people, they should have those type of you know, yeah, I mean, you got Stacey Abrams chilling with Young Jeezy. You know what I mean? You got Stacey Abrams chilling with T.I. and Killer Mike. You know what I'm talking about? She's at the Trap Museum signing autographs. You know what I mean? She was on stage twerking with Meg Thee Stallion type in fucking Lotto. Like, you know, this is the type of shit that goes on in Atlanta with the Democrats. Like, they're chilling with the dope boys type shit. You know? But yeah, it's I don't know when people are gonna ever declare that this shit is dead in the war. There's nothing that they could do for this fake fantasy gangster, you know, we all mobbed up and whatnot. And this, no, nigga, like that shit is defunct. You know, it's defunct. The industry is flooded with federal informants, agents. Online social media is under surveillance by multiple agencies. They watching me, they watching you. You know, they definitely watching some of the quote unquote macro influencer rappers, and they most certainly are watching the gangbangers and the drill rappers. That goes without. They have probably divisions that are basically you know, they probably like, yo, this is the New York division, this is the Atlanta division, this is the Houston, Texas division, this is the Dallas division. All you have to do is get on YouTube and just look around, nigga. All of the news is already out there, bro. Like, it's not even a secret. The internet sleuths, they be out there solving all kind of homicides. And if you shoot somebody, nigga, somebody's gonna get on the internet and say it. And let's just leave it at that, right? So there's no secrets for real, because we live in the age of clout. We live in the attention economy. Motherfuckers would rather have attention for clapping that thing and hitting niggas up than they would to be the nigga in the room that nobody knows while they're paying attention to other people. You might be the meanest and the baddest and whatnot, but everybody can live with not being known. And not everybody could just live with that. Motherfuckers want to be known. And I told y'all before on many occasions, wanting to be known, that is some of the most backward shit. And you'll see, don't take my word for it. You go ahead and get your face out there like that, where you can't even relax, where you can't even eat in peace and whatnot, where you can't start walking down the street with motherfuckers all in your mouth. You know, you go ahead and you know, it's cute in the beginning. You know what I'm talking about? But the pendulum eventually gonna swing, my niggas. It's cute in the beginning, but it's not cute when you don't want nobody to see you. It's not cute when you don't want nobody all in your face and whatnot. It's not cute when you trying to be, what's that called? Incognito. There are so many people, they said, that are being let out of federal custody for being just straight informants, right? And working with them people and whatnot and keeping them abreast. All they do now is show Instagram pages. Who's this standing next to this nigga? And who's that? And did you hear about this? I mean, goddamn it, the shade room. It's all of these things. Don't let Saucy Santana and them niggas, the gay niggas, get your story and whatnot. Don't let DJ Academics get a hold of your story. He's going to do a 8-hour Twitch live, and they're gonna peel through all of your fucking dirt, my nigga. All your laundry will be disseminated throughout the World Wide Web. That ain't it, bro. Nigga, I can imagine how that feels. That's not really it, bro. That ain't a touchdown in my book. You know? Gossip is the new currency, not knowledge. You damn right about that, Tall Derek. Gossip is definitely the new currency. You know? Chatty Patty shit. Right? Chatty Pattiness. Why don't he talk about the conscious community? Who's that? Why don't who talk about it? I'm confused. You know, there's been snitches inside of consciousness throughout the century, right? Because people can't talk about what they don't know about. You know, I would never want DJ Academics to talk about the conscious community, because he don't know who they are. How can he tell an accurate story if he doesn't know? And he's not a person that's going to give it the type of credit that it deserves and whatnot. You know, he's a non-FBA. You know what I'm talking about? He's and also he doesn't respect what is deemed consciousness because he's not an adherent to it. There's two different things. There's people that are adhering to certain things. Then there's people who are naturally opposed to it because it's just something that they can't get with. You know, you don't. You know, all you gotta listen to is about 5 minutes of his conversation, and you could be like, "Oh, nah, he's not ready for shit like that. That's not his frequency." You know, it's not his frequency. So, DJ Academics, and that goes for a lot of the podcasters out there. Like I said, I seen Keys today on Big Facts podcast, and that was an interesting contrast. You know, that was an interesting contrast. Sometimes you gotta, you know, get on those platforms where they're used to certain vibrations, and you have to raise the vibrations in the room and whatnot. And what does that do? That challenges the host and their audience to do what? To raise their consciousness and to attain, to reach higher in life. Because people walk around thinking that they've reached the limits of information, or they think that they've reached the limits of what it is to be, you know, of what it is that there's to know in the known universe. People think that they've reached, you know, the pinnacle of what it is to be deep. And then sometimes you get reminded, like, no, nigga, there's levels to this. Like, you got a long way to go. Keep climbing. You know what I'm talking about? Keep climbing. Yeah, they do try. Yeah, they do try. Rizzo was on Big Facts. Yeah, they do try. Salute to them. You know? That's the revolt carousel. You know what I mean? That's the revolt, quote unquote, musical chairs. You know? That's how they, you know, they'll move certain people through the Breakfast Club, through Drink Champs, through the Facts, through 85. It's all what is known. I think all of that is part of Charlemagne's Black Effect, correct? Because he has a whole podcast conglomerate that he's running. You know what I'm talking about? He got a whole podcast conglomerate. So you got the Revolt ecosystem, then you got the Charlemagne Black Effect ecosystem, then you got the Joe Budden Network ecosystem. So to be honest with you, you could speak to all of our people, the whole generation, the whole culture, by hopping on different podcasts. You get on Drink Champs, you get on Math Hoffa, you get on Big Facts, and you get on Breakfast Club and Vlad, right? Or Adam 22. When you hit all 5 of those, you have reached at least 50 to 60% of the culture. That's on some Charleston White type shit. You know what I mean? So nobody can never say, oh, you know, it's difficult to reach out to our people. $1 million worth of game, right? The Joe Budden podcast, right? Well, not really, but you know, the Facts, Big Facts podcast, Drink Champs, Adam 22, right? And that's it. I think that's kind of it. I think that's about it. You know? And then you basically have been exposed, like it's hard for the culture to not see you if you go through those routes and whatnot. And I'm not talking about consciousness or the conscious community and whatnot. I'm talking about the rest of us, right? Those of us that need to see you in those venues to start taking you serious, because, you know, it's a perception thing. Yeah, somebody said they can't stand Vlad. Yeah, you know. Right. So it's not even difficult, you know what I mean? It really isn't. And that's the way that you tap in. Vlad and Adam 22 is eating good right now. Yeah, I seen an episode where Adam 22 said he gets $1 million a month for what he's doing, you know? You know what I mean? Like, it is a lucrative content creation and potting. It is super lucrative right now. Super lucrative. And of course, they already know the kind of content to make it spicy, and the shit that's gonna sell, and the shit that's gonna be clickable is gonna be all the drama, right? It's all the drama. You thought Vlad was supposed to have been out the whip? Yeah, well, you know, niggas switched it up. They hopped back in the whip with him. That's YouTube check. Remember, you got YouTube and Facebook is paying. You know, I seen an interview with what's his name, Skinbone, out of Chicago. He does comedy and whatnot. He says that there's 7 ways to get paid on Facebook off of content. 7 ways, bro. Come on now. 7. That's ridiculous. You know what I'm talking about? Like, there's so many ways to monetize this content. Like, there's people are making hand over fist money off of podcasts and making content. If they lit like that, if they get a nice viewership. So that shit add up. You know? But keep in mind, you know, the talent right? It's the motherfuckers that's coming on the show that's kind of selling the show in a sense, but they sell it to you like it's a trade-off. Like, look, you come on the show, you're gonna get more famous, or they're selling you fame, and then you get on the show, but they're gonna get the Vlads and the Adam 22s. They already locked in. They're gonna get paid off of the views, off of the eyeballs, off of the clicks, off of the ads and whatnot. You, who's the talent, they say, yeah, you're gonna get paid on the back end because it's gonna raise your visibility, right? And in some spaces, your value will you'll become more valuable in certain places and shit like that. You know, I mean, come on, we still like, you know, it is what it is. That's how this game is working. So they get the salacious guests, they make the clickbait titles, and yeah, the niggas is getting $1 million a month. You know what I'm talking about? They're getting $1 million, you know. So imagine how much money is out there. And then content is like, they don't even want music anymore. Keep that in mind. Music, fuck that. Podcasts. You know what I mean? They don't even want the artist to, they're like, yo, we don't really need an album from you too much. We need a podcast, nigga. Like the podcast, we can eat off of that. You know? That's why you see rappers saying, you know what? I'm gonna just talk on the mic, on a podcast. Like, I could get more revenue doing this than chasing these fucking royalty checks from the label. That is not giving, it's not coming back right. You know what I mean? You gotta look, you gotta find that money. Why is that picture frozen? You see what I'm talking about with this computer brand? This shit is very disrespectful. Very disrespectful. So for certain rappers, like a Joe Budden, I could understand why he completely hung the mic up and was like, I ain't rapping no more. I'm good. I got a catalog. Once you got a catalog, you either gonna sell your catalog or you could do certain things off of your catalog that you'll be able to, you know, continuously make a recurring income and shit like that. But they're just like, you know what, my experience and my contacts or my connections and whatnot, like how Noriega was able to utilize and leverage his contacts to make one of the biggest podcasts in hip hop. Noriega? Nigga, Noriega, Super Thug. Like, who would have guessed? You know what I'm talking about? No disrespect to my guy, to the big Yala and whatnot, but that wasn't on my bingo card. You know what I mean? For top podcasts and shit like that. Drink Champs, I couldn't see that one coming. Noriega, nigga? Like, I couldn't see that coming. So there's more money in content these days and doing interviews and whatnot and just talking to niggas that you probably would be talking to the club, y'all popping bottles and checking out some shorties and whatnot. Now y'all in a nice little space with three cameras and some lights, and then y'all talking y'all shit. And at the end of the month, you're gonna get paid for that. You know what I mean? And you lit. And then when you go on tour, maybe 2 or 3 years later and whatnot, performing your catalog, you're gonna sell out venues because now you popular from your podcast. It's a win-win. That gang shit y'all niggas is talking about, that's a lose-lose. The podcast life, that's a win-win. You know? That's a win-win. There's so many ways that you could take that and do what needs to be done versus the shit that these niggas is trying to sell you. Yo, rap about killing niggas. Kill them, but everybody knows you killed them. But tell the white man that, you know, that they don't know what they're talking about and your rights are being violated, and protect the culture and don't use your lyrics in court. because that's a disrespect to hip hop. Like that's the most backwards, upside down shit that you're insulting your own intelligence when you start believing in shit like that. You know what I'm talking about? That's insulting your intelligence. And people are agreeing to dumb themselves down just so they could fit into this fugazi ass narrative that was sold to them by some fugazi ass folks. Like everybody knows what the fuck is going on. It's an open book. Let's stop lying to each other. Okay? Let's stop fronting. Let's stop lying to each other. Let's stop the bullshit. They have something called informants. If they don't know, these niggas know and they'll tell them. You know what I mean? We losing a lot of good people to these motherfucking trumped up football numbers, and they throwing niggas under the jail 40, 50, 60, 70 years. And these are people who are not even built for the system like that. They don't come from the mud like that. They don't come from nothing in order to be in these situations and whatnot. So, you know, that shit needs to stop immediately. That shit needs to come to a fucking halt. The criminality or the criminalization of this culture. You know what I'm talking about? Motherfuckers is some you know what I mean? They some sophisticated savages. They some unsophisticated savages, to be honest with you. Everybody want to be gang and this and that and everything. But it's like, yo, all I see is L's being taken. And people are sweeping y'all up like fucking hair in a barbershop. And they handing out big numbers. Shit that you probably can't chew on. You know what I'm talking about? They giving niggas big numbers. They're not playing. They washing niggas. And women too. So it is what it is, man. Y'all choose to play that game if you want. You know what I mean? Y'all choose to get them people all of them years of your life, your prime years and whatnot, when they got cars driving themselves and shit like that. Y'all choose to just throw it all away, you know, for the motherfucking stimuli, you know, of what? Everything that people is out here putting their neck on the lines to do it for, you could get that off of Amazon. Like, you know, you could get that off of Amazon. Like, you're doing all of that to impress who? Please let me know. Please let me know. You doing that to impress her? Them? Shim? Man, niggas got priorities a little backed up, but it is what it is. You know what I'm talking about? It is what it is. But yeah, man, I did have the link for the year in review situation. We got a lecture coming up at the end of this calendar year. I cannot let this year end and I don't do a review and touch on a whole lot of shit that's been going on, because 2022 is one for the record books. This year kicked my ass. It dragged me up and down, and I'm gonna talk about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna that's the best way that I can put it behind me, is by talking about it. You know what I mean? And by, you know, just really like letting it go. You know what I mean? I gotta let it go, because if I hold on to some of the trauma of 2022, shit, bro, it's gonna weigh me down. It was a lot of backstabbing. It was a lot of fuck shit. You know what I mean? It was a lot of whole activities. You know, whole nigga activity. It was a lot of shit, bro. I promise you. I shit you not. Like this year right here, man. Do I think Tori did it? Not really. I think the girl shot her homegirl. That's exactly what I think. I think the girl shot her. You know, But it's all coming out, ain't it? 22 is kicking like Bruce Lee. Shit. Flying elbows, uppercuts. You feel me? Niggas was, you know how they be having the axe throwing and shit like that? It was a lot of axes thrown. It just was a lot, bro. Like, it was a lot. Like, I shit you not. You know, if I look like what I've been through, my nigga, y'all would be scared to death. You know what I'm talking about? I would need a filter. You know? I would need a filter and some makeup. But it is what it is, you know. It is what it is. It's what comes with this shit, bro. You know, this ain't no walk in the park. People be thinking it is because we make it look easy, but it's furthest from that. You know, it's furthest from that. It's an abyss. It's an abyss. This shit it's a very dark place. I shit you not, bro. It is a very, very dark place. You know. So people be, you know, they be jealous sometimes of a position that a person has, and they be wanting to be in that person's position. But what they don't know is the shit that person goes through when they're in that position. So a motherfucker will try to push you out of position and get in your position, and they skin is not even thick enough to even stand in your shoes for a whole day. You know what I mean? They couldn't take an hour of the shit that you put up with and whatnot. And they so quick to want to be in your position or to sit in your seat and whatnot, but they really don't know the what comes with sitting in that seat, bro. Do I have any in-depth lectures on crystals? Yeah, I did something with Ross Ben in April, I believe. No, in February. I did something with Ross Ben in February. It's on KTL University and whatnot. It's called Dropping Gems. You did? It's called Dropping Gems. So you could go and check that out. 2023, the year of gold. Yeah, that's the Jordan numbers. See what I'm talking about? That's that Jumpman. You know, 2023, that's that Jordan ring. You know what I'm saying? So we'll be jumping out the gym next calendar year. You dig? What happened with the guy with the silver? She's chilling in Cairo. He's in Brazil. You know, he's counting his blessings because he was on time. You know what I mean? He was able to convert a lot of people on this show. He was able to help them convert crypto into precious metals. So when the crypto collapsed, a lot of people on this in this network, they didn't feel the effects of the collapse the way that others did. I was able to pat myself on the back, and I was able to sleep good at night because I converted a nice sum of my quote unquote crypto earnings into something that was more solid, like precious metal. So when the shit tanked, right? Because a lot of people lost their motherfucking piggy bank this year. When the crypto and the NFTs and everything fell, I didn't feel the weight of it because I was already secure. You know what I mean? I trusted my instincts, you know, and my instincts didn't fail me and didn't let me down. So boom, I was able to skate through that shit. And here I am, you know. So yeah, in Cairo is chilling. He's in Brazil. I'm gonna get with him in 2023. Yeah, but make sure y'all subscribe to this page and hit that bell and whatnot. If we do any shows before Monday, you'll be alerted and notified about it when I go live in case I pop up with a special guest before Monday. Who knows? It might happen, it might not. You feel me? Yeah, IB, you could inbox me. You can inbox me. Okay, at the mark. Let me put my email right there. I would get you in touch with somebody that could get you a consultation and help you. There's help that could be done. You know what I mean? There's intervention and there's definitely solutions to your question. But you can't I can't answer it right there while you're in the chat. I will have you reach out to me privately because that's such a private affair. And then I'll point you in the direction that you need to be pointed in. You feel me? So with that being said, here's the email and whatnot. Y'all can hit up. You can hit us up. And we'll get back to you. You dig? Shout out to Al Keebalon. We got something planned for the top of 2023. We're going to start off the new year the right way with the good brother. You know what I mean? Shout out to him. We'll give you more information on that coming up soon. And yeah, shout out to Black Magic 363, Brother Rich.
Are you seeking the best in life?
And yeah, we support that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, with that being said, yeah, love and light, man. Peace, love and light. Yeah, the next on Monday we'll do the crowdfunding for the Mac. You know what I'm saying? We'll do the crowdfunding for the Mac. Like I said, I'll have $1,000 and we'll just match it. I think it's like $2,000 or maybe $2,500 or something for the new one. I'll pull up the Amazon right there and we'll buy it probably in real time. And yeah, that'll change a lot of things overnight. You know what I mean? That'll change because this shit right here, bro, like, I ain't gonna lie to you. It is what it is. But we make the best out of it and we make sure that we, you know, we do what it do and whatnot. So yeah. Thank you everybody for pulling up. I appreciate y'all. Keep your head on strong for the strong end. You know what I mean? Have the best time possible with your family. You know, are we still cool with KT the Arts Degree? Yeah, that's my brother. That's literally my younger brother. Like, why wouldn't we be cool with our brother? But cherish every moment. Rise in power to the young brother that I was speaking on earlier. For anybody that's out there that's struggling with suicidal tendencies, you know, like I said, please reach out to someone in your network that you can speak to. If you gotta hit me on my inbox on Instagram, don't feel ashamed and, you know, don't feel like you can't do that. You know what I mean? If I'm one of your resorts, then, you know, push the button, my genius. You know what I mean? I'll be there for you. You know what I mean? Like we could have a heart to heart, you know, because I know the shit is real. And I don't like waking up reading these stories about successful melanated brothers and sisters, family, like people who have families and shit, like and even if you don't have a family, it don't matter, but definitely fathers and mothers and shit like that. You know what I mean? Somebody said that they don't have a network. That's what we call it. This is the network. This is the network. That's why we're here, right? That's why I do the roll call every show, right? So if you live somewhere and you didn't know that somebody from your state lives that's on a show, I say, yo, you from the Carolinas? Oh, this person is from the Carolinas. Oh, you from Texas? Where the rest of Houston, Texas at? Then you got all of Houston, Texas saying, we right here. That's your clue to reach out to your brother or your sister. Once again, disclaimer, don't be creepy. Don't make nobody feel like, you know, that you giving out stalker vibes and shit like that. You feel me? We deal with a level of maturity, and we deal with a level of respect on this platform. So we try our best to weed out any bullshit. And then if it gets brought to us, then we really got to take action. And, you know, we don't want to, you know what I mean? Like, we don't want to embarrass anybody. That's not, that doesn't do anything for me. Nothing whatsoever. You know, does nothing. I don't have that type of ego that's set up to where I got to make somebody feel smaller to make me feel bigger. I'm not built like that. I'm not designed like that. And I don't got that kind of body. You know what I mean? But what I do know is that this is a network. You know, it is a group of people who come together. And as you can see, we're not in the chat room arguing, calling each other's name. Thank you for the Cash App. We're not online being very toxic towards each other and hateful. I try my best and I do my due diligence since I've been from Blog Talk days going all the way up into where we are right now to maintain a healthy environment, a safe place, somewhat like a safe haven, even with all of the madness that be going on the internet every fucking day, every hour on an hour. At least, you know, when you come over here, you could get you know what I'm talking about? You could get some you know, you could get some information. What's up with the red line going across the screen? That's the ticker. You mean right there where my Cash App is going on? Do you see that, or do you see something else? Because from where I'm sitting at, it says Cash App Phil Moreland, and that's called a ticker. I paid for that feature. You know what I'm talking about? Like, that's part of the paid features of StreamYard. Okay, so FYI. So y'all, with that being said, okay, I'm out of here. I'm gonna leave y'all with this commercial with Billy Carson and Dr. B. All right, Brother Rich. Love and light.
To raise your vibration? Are you seeking to no longer drift, but move gently towards your goals? Billy Carson and myself will be presenting sacred information about finances, how to be wealthy, how to be healthy, be wise. Many people have been asking, what is God power? God power is when you are now co-creating your life. You're living life on purpose. You're not waiting for things to happen. You're making things happen. You're letting go of the past, letting go of the things that were holding you back, letting go of the things that were heavy in your life, and raising your vibration and taking everything you have and moving it towards a destination. You are a winner. You were born a winner. It's time to tap into the winning circle. Become the winner's circle. You are the champion. All you need is the blueprint for the God power that's already in you.